Something new that I'm starting on the channel is reviewing and talking about video game music in context with gameplay. Today we're going to be talking through Vow of the Disciple. Thanks again to this amazing fire team for helping me out and being so kind. If you'd like to join on some raids, feel free to join the Discord. We'll set up a raid with everybody. We think of loading music as something that's written just for the sake of being written. This Destiny loading music, there's this quality of, well, we know what we need to do and we're gonna do it. And that's what this is all about. As we move into the pyramid and we start this encounter, it's this interesting lower brass element that is added to the Witch Queen motive, which gives us a feeling of discomfort and dis-ease. This raid occurs after we fight Savathûn, and yet Savathûn's influence still remains. It's pretty interesting to see too how much Destiny music has evolved. You hear this EDM style music with this beat pattern. I wouldn't say it's symphonic at all, but it does give us this quality of tension and fear and, oh, well, we've got to get this payload to where it needs to go. And it's all about that rhythmic intensity versus melodic intensity. It's ferocious in its own way. Now the pyramid opens and we have this shift.
Earth scorches, suns fade. Look beyond.
Rhulk speaks to us in this riddle fashion, and we get this like slight electronic quality. It really does feel like a ominous invitation, and you hear that there's a quality here of discomfort that's intentional. It's supposed to cause us to feel fear, and we shift away from music and enter into this ambient sound quality that is really concerning and fearful. Sounds otherworldly, it sounds distant, it has that witness music quality to it, slight crunch, slight dissonance. I find what happens now really interesting, because the music and this piercing upper pitch gets louder and louder and louder as we enter this chamber. We see these worms, these sacrifices, and you hear that quality of despair almost. Again, it's all built around discomfort and making us feel weak as we prepare to face Rhulk, the first disciple. Now as we enter the acquisition chamber, this is when things shift musically.
The witness sees light form, glimpses you, free of chains.
We hear the witness's motive.
Truly limitless potential,
We get these lore drops.
unbound.
In the distance, we see the worm mother. We start to understand musically that we are facing something that we have never faced before in Destiny. The whole intended purpose of this is that discomfort. And also, what a sight to behold. Here we have this music that we've actually heard before during the Witch Queen. Again, we're always going with this EDM, ferociously rhythmic pattern. We hear that propulsion in the disjointed rhythm, which is a bit chaotic, and I think that's intentional. It's supposed to cause us confusion and disarray. Then we have these big moments with these big beats. It's great stuff. Then once the unstoppable abomination is taken out, we enter into this witness pattern again. We have strings. We feel like we are the ones being hunted. That witness theme is all over this for obvious reasons. Slightly modified in the brass. Different pitches, same rhythms. And it's an amalgamation of orchestration with synthesizer. We hear this very heavy percussion that is giving us a sense of intensity. The witness theme in the brass there, adding to the layer of fear that we're experiencing. This rhythmic intensity. There's a peak here in the strings as we descend down. Suddenly we have a chorus come in, again with that witness theme, giving us this feeling of an added layer of tension. It's the final stand, it's the final moments of this encounter. Can you sustain? Can you do this? You are entering into a situation that you may not be able to come out of. And then you do. And you're successful, and the music shifts off again. Then it's time to wake up the caretaker. As soon as the caretaker appears, we have this strong string and brass entrance, as we tend to do in Bungie fashion. Motives playing over and over. This theme is a bit subdued to me, actually, but we do have that fear motive in the strings. Again, with Destiny music, there's always a bit of an undercurrent of rhythmic tension. But surprisingly, this fight with the caretaker is a bit slow, and I do wonder if that's not due to the caretaker's size, but also we're probably going to build on this since this is phase 1 of this fight. And there is a bit of an alien aspect to this too, because we don't necessarily know what we're fighting. It's not clear what this is. It's not clear what this enemy will do. We know this enemy is deformed. We know this enemy is a bit disfigured, disgusting. I think the drums recognize the caretaker's size, and especially when it turns its face towards you, it is a terrifying experience, and it certainly was for me. Now we enter into a damage phase, and we get that familiar motive. When it goes up like that, there's a feeling of questioning. Can you really do it? And then we get the Guardian theme. But it's a little bit like, is this the Guardian theme? Can you really do it? I'm not sure. It's not all that heroic. It's a bit concerned and worried. It's in minor. It toys with the melody of the Guardian theme. It's not the full-on Guardian theme. It's not heroic. It's not outgoing. It's tense. You hear that? Even though we know and recognize that motive, it's a little bit not what we know it to be. There's an intention behind that to cause fear and to cause uncertainty, because we're not done yet. Now in this phase, the drums are much more pronounced. Man, it's so freaky when he turns to look at you, though. Still have the teasing of that Destiny Guardian theme, but not quite there yet. It wants to go there. It has a Jaws-like quality to it in the brass. Though it's very melodic here. Listen to the rhythm in the brass. Now we have more chorus as we take on the final stand. That chorus pronounced in those big beats. Doubling that brass. As we say goodnight to the caretaker. What a stunning image here with this hive worm god. Queen? Queen? God? Can't remember. We're gonna skip through this jumping puzzle. But listen to the piano. There's something about having this vista below us as we do this jumping puzzle, that is distressing and sad, because we reflect on, you know, what we knew to be these omnipotent, powerful beings now being in complete control by the Witness and being used as a weapon of war, essentially. I thought this area had a really interesting musical structure to it. There's like a gong, and there's tension and fear. Obviously, we have that constant pyramid-like sound quality there, which is alarming. And then again here, thrust with this ambiance as we get closer and closer to Rhulk, and we get a clearer and clearer image of that. And I think this music allows us to hear the dominance and the power of the Witness and Rhulk, with that disjointed and distorted gong. It's an incredible sight. This was a really tense encounter, and I was struggling, and I was anxious and nervous about it. We did wipe a few times here. This music really gives us the feeling that we're always being surrounded at every corner, and that we will always be hunted. Those strings herald our arrival to Rhulk with tension and fear. It's almost like Rhulk has been watching us this entire time, wondering when we were gonna get there. And what a beautiful view. It was for science. I was told to charge at Rhulk, so I did.
You have served your all that awaits you now is the gift of death.
What a terrifying foe. That darkness theme in full effect here, right in our faces. Strong brass heralding Rhulk's arrival. Notice that there is a moment of silence here. Rhulk is staring us down, we're staring back. There's this moment of silence almost, as he just looks at us and we look at him. What I appreciate about this first phase is that we have nothing but percussion, basically. It's a really, like, bold move to just have a piece of music that is just percussion. And I think it gives way to the visceral qualities that Rhulk possesses. Almost like you're trying to show him who you are so that you're worthy of fighting him. And he even says that. I'm very impressed by you. But it's crazy. Never have I heard in a video game simply just percussion. I think it showcases his power, his intensity, who he is, his menace. I also love Rhulk's design. Rhulk is designed in this classical way. It almost looks like he's wearing, you know, an outfit with a lapel, like something you'd see in the Baroque time period, which I think showcases his age. But listen to this drumming. This is a hunter stalking its prey. He is so proud. He feels that he is unstoppable. The drums, after all, are a very primal instrument. But this is just a simple snare. I mean, it's genius stuff. This is insane to me. This is such a basic musical gesture. And yet, it causes not only a feeling of discomfort, but an absolute intensity. It's literally it's nothing. It's an instrument. It's one instrument. And then as Rhulk invites us, everything shifts. We have a distant boom. There we go. Ba-da-da. It's heroic, isn't it? almost the Guardian theme, but it's actually terrifying. I think that using the violins like this also shows the age, and then we got that witness theme. Those strings highlight the power of Rhulk. And we get that witness lower brass. Of course, the damage phase with the Guardian theme. But it feels very short-lived. It feels very temporary. Because Rhulk can still come into you and still kick you in the face. So it's not super proud. And then the way that the trumpets go like that. And then we add a level of chorus. Everything's kind of short. And there's that chorus again. The witness sound quality there. And just like that, we're back into this drumming. Rhulk is like, okay, you've done an okay job, but now there's a different layer. Now we have strings attached. It's pretty cool layering. Now it's almost like Rhulk is a little angry and agitated, but not afraid. No, not afraid at all. And that's a cool lick too. A little bit desperate sounding as it descends like that. Maybe there's a little bit of fear here in Rhulk. He could easily just destroy us right now. Why doesn't he? To him, it's a game. He hasn't fully realized that we will be his undertakers. It's such a smooth transition into the damage phase. And now we start to wonder, is Rhulk afraid? We still have the drumming, but the sound quality gives way to a bit of desperation. It's becoming more and more intense, more layered. More horns. Almost to say, no, I'm not going to give up yet. The brass witness theme there. I think that's where Rhulk feels his protection. Rhulk feels protected by the witness and his own accomplishments. So that horn reminds us how prideful he is. Now there's almost some concern. Now in context, the Guardian theme way more powerful. That chorus feels like it's heralding the end of Well, and it does end Rhulk. Nice resolution there, too. Bum, 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 bum. Rum with the Caesura. And that's the end of Rhulk. This was a really awesome raid and a really awesome experience. Thanks for watching along with this. I hope that you gained a little bit more insight into what makes the music of Destiny so amazing from an emotional perspective. There's a lot more Destiny on the channel. And again, feel free to join the Discord if you ever want to sign up and hang out for a raid. We also will be doing some on twitch.tv/MarcoMeatball. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you on the next video.